Good day, beautiful Braveheart Nation all around the world. I'm Dr. Daryl Wolfe, and I'm coming to you today with a very special show. And in this show, it is called Save the Ostriches from the Canadian federal government. So understand something right now. You can believe this or not believe this, but these ostriches, it's not just about saving their lives. It's about saving our lives. Okay. All right. We are all going to get plucked and stuffed like Thanksgiving dinner if we don't actually stand up for our God-given rights. You heard what I said. I said our God-given rights. And understand something. Most people are already ready to give them all away. And if you haven't noticed during the 5-year, the 5-year situation that we went under with COVID, then you would understand this, that most people just sat back and they took everything and anything that the federal government was going to just throw at us. So I'm in Canada right now, and it is an honor and a privilege to actually do this show for Katie. And Katie lives in British Columbia, in Edgewood, British Columbia. Hi, Katie.
Hi, thanks for having me here, and thank you for contacting me. It's a very important story, as you say.
Yeah, it's more than about the ostriches. This is just one of the dominoes, and if this one falls, so will the next one fall. So what we're going to do, everyone, is I need you to really pay close attention to Katie's story, and then I need you to share this video on every platform and share the information about this. Because guess what? It's not just about the ostriches, but it is today. Katie?
Hi, yeah, thank you for having me. You're so right. In 2005, when H5N1 first became a thing, they were already killing our domestic pets as well. Some people don't even believe that now. They're like, they would never kill domestic pets. And we did it. We actually did it. We went through that. So at our farm, I'll go kind of speed through it. It's a little bit long.
Can I say something, Katie, before you start? And it's not long. You take your time. People need to know this story and understand something, everyone. I just want you to understand something. If we're talking about the bird flu, did anybody ever notice that the only birds they go after are the ones that we eat? What about the other birds? So understand, this is all BS, a dysfunctional belief system, and the Canadian federal government should be charged with fraud. And understand something. I'm not scared to say it. I'm not scared to say it. I'm going to say what everybody else is thinking. And I want you to listen to Katie's story. These birds would not be alive right now if it would have been 99.9% of the population. They would have just rolled over on this thing. Okay. And understand something right now. I just want to not thank everybody during COVID who took the V, and actually gave up their freedom, because guess what? This is why Katie's in this trouble right now. If the Canadian people wouldn't have rolled over on COVID, they wouldn't be coming on her property and threatening her livelihood and threatening these beautiful birds.
Absolutely. We've got ourselves in quite a predicament here. In mid-December, we had some symptoms in our ostriches, and we started treating them like we normally do. And you isolate them and quarantine them as the experts in your industry that you are, because you don't want anyone else to get sick. So we contacted our vet, but because it was through Christmas, we were waiting his phone call back. These symptoms represented themselves as symptoms we had back in 2020. In 2020, we had these same symptoms, and we had a herd of about 300. 10 died at that time, but our vet did the gold standard sample, which is a tissue sample. And
yes.
Yes. And
yes.
And it came back positive for Pseudomonas bacteria. We lost 10. We gained herd immunity. Everybody, we just moved on. So 2024 in December, we were waiting for our vet to call us back. And before our vet could call us back, we got a call from Canadian Food Inspection Agency that there was an anonymous tip that we have avian influenza, which has
Right.
led us into learning a lot of things. That anonymous tip led us into a conversation with them, explaining the symptoms, explaining where we're at. Some of our ostriches, yes, they got sick. Some were getting better. And then there was mortality. We were losing some. So once we explained that, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency said, yeah, this does not sound like H5N1 or avian influenza.
Right.
Your ostriches would not be getting sick and then getting better. They would be all dying like in a commercial poultry facility. So here we were, and we invited them on they said, could we just come take a couple tests just to rule out it's not avian influenza, which we said, yes, let's do that. So they came, by their request, they asked for 2 deceased ostriches to do the tests on. So we had 2 deceased ostrich. They waited out and laid for 16 to 18 hours before Canadian Food Inspection Agency came. And then they surprised us by pulling out the controversial PCR test, which was designed by and crafted by Kerry Mullis. And even Kerry Mullis himself said, this is not meant to be used as a diagnostic tool. So they did an oral swab on both, a rectal swab on both.
If I can say something, he also said that should have never been used during COVID for humans or for birds or animals or anything. He said that all the tests would be inclusive. That's right. And they won't even show true science. That's what he said.
And you're absolutely right, because as the story goes on, we found that they ran our cycles at 44 cycles. So, I mean, and then we're finding from farmers that are reaching out to us that they're running theirs at 39, in the 40s. They're all being ran at exceptionally high cycles. So they were here at the same time they were here and ran those controversial PCR tests. We asked if they would test our animals that were healthy, because we had more than half of our farm, no symptoms, no deaths. And they said, sorry, we can't do that. So then we asked them if they would test some of our symptomatic ones that have gotten better. They said, no, sorry.
Okay. All right. So just understand, this is how the federal government works in Canada. And this is not about me, but the Canadian federal government, along with CBC, came after me about 2.5 years ago. And they tried to destroy my reputation. And understand something. And what they did, if I would have done that to someone, I would have been in jail.
Yeah.
And the reality is Canadians better wake up real quick. Go ahead, Katie.
Yeah. So you're absolutely right. That was very disappointing that we couldn't. We explained to them that these symptoms that represented themselves here today, or in 2024 at the end of the year, were exactly the same of the symptoms that we had when the ostriches in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, but that's what we were kind of concerned. We thought, well, maybe that whole 3/4 of our farm has herd immunity and was pre-exposed, and that's why they're okay. So they left and they took those tests, which we were never able to recover any chain of custody for. And they took them to an Abbotsford lab. The Abbotsford, British Columbia lab is not an accredited lab to diagnose H5N1. And they came back the very next day. They were running our results at 1 a.m. I don't know any government workers in a lab that work at 1 a.m, but that's okay. And they came back right away and said, you have tested positive for H5N1.
Right.
And so they said, now you're under quarantine. December 31st, they put us under quarantine and gave us the quarantine papers. Booked and scheduled a call with us on January 2nd. January 2nd, we also received an email that said we qualify for special rare genetics. Now, how do we, so that's that. Then on January 2nd, we also had a 5.5-hour Zoom call with all top government officials. And they probed us for all of our intellect property. Business plan, every doctor we've talked to, any research papers, anybody that we've spoken with. What is our research? And about the 5-hour mark, we said, are you just probing us for information and you've already decided you're killing our animals? And they said, no, we're really interested in working with you. So we just left it at that. They filed us an exemption package. They said, now to qualify, you have to fill out this exemption package. So it was a Unit 1, distinct Unit 1 exemption package. It was all tailored towards commercial poultry facilities. It lists in this exemption package turkeys, geese, ducks, and chickens. No mention of an ostrich, no mention of a rhea or an emu, which are ratites. And so we said, this is very alarming because we cannot fill this out properly. And they said, even if you have to just put no's on it all, like just answer it or you're not in compliance and you don't qualify. So we looked at all the questions. They don't pertain to us at all. We're an outdoor research facility for ostrich antibodies. So we filled it out. And then remember, we were also told that we qualify for special rare genetics. On January 10th, we received a letter from the federal government saying that due to their staffing issues and that they didn't have the resources that we couldn't do for the special rare genetics. So we didn't get that. We were in non-compliance of being able to meet any of the qualifications out of the exemption package. And we had to have all of our animals killed by our own hands by February 1st. And we had to dispose of them back in our hayfield. So this, it raised so many alarm bells, everything was going off because these animals are decades old. Our oldest ostrich here is 34. We have genetic diversity and beautiful, healthy genetics here that we would never be able to replicate. So killing them and repopulating them just was not in the equation. And so we went on the hunt for a lawyer. When we found a lawyer, it was very hard to find a lawyer because not a lot of lawyers want to challenge the federal court. And we had that was very tricky. January 31st, right before the February 1st, we would have been in non-compliance.
Right.
We just squeaked in there with a stay order. So our Justice Batista, the judge, said that it would cause irreparable harm and damage to 2 livelihoods, that there would be, we were not offered the other options in their package, in their policy, which was vaccination and monitoring, that they just right away went to stamping out. So he fought for that. So we won an appeal, which in that letter that we got on January 10th,
Right.
It's very alarming. It says in there, not subject to appeal. Like, that's our rights. So all of a sudden we lost our rights on January 10th for appeal they were trying. And they added the mental health link at the bottom of the paper, said that we were probably going to need mental health support. So we won that, the stay order, and we won a judicial review. So that judicial review,
they said that you were going to need mental health after you killed your birds.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to need mental health to try to get over something criminal. And understand, everybody, don't think I'm trying to be Mr. Drama King here or trying to get views. So let's just wake up and, you know what? Don't put your head in the hole in the sand like an ostrich does, because understand something. I already told you, Canada, I'm going to tell you something right now. You're in big trouble. You're in big trouble. Okay. Because guess what? United States is standing up for themselves. Where are the Canadians here? Where has Canada ever been? Okay. We can pick on United States that they go around the world and pushing people around, but at least they're standing up for themselves.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dr. Wolfe, because this is what we're seeing now at this point, right? If you speed up to where we are today, we're getting the most support from the United States of America. So,
and guess what? And that is it right there. You know what? They're willing to know what their rights are and not roll over. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So we just won that judicial review. But what was really alarming is the Department of Justice, which is representing the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, attacked Justice Batista, the federal court judge, and said he erred in law, he erred in principle, and that he overstepped his jurisdiction by him standing up for us. So they removed him from the case management conference, the case management, which we got our judicial review, which we had in April 15th and 16th. We have expert witnesses and scientists that are virologists and epidemiologists. We have the top of the top that have been leading the charge with us, that we were blessed with from Guelph University. And they have exceptional studies and they've done so much work. Those expert witness reports, when we went to do we had case management conferences. And when we went to do those, we were able to cross-examine each other's expert witnesses. We cross-examined theirs, Shannon French. There was a few others, Shannon French. There's been so many names. They didn't cross-examine one of our expert.
Well, they can't. They wouldn't be able to. And guess what? I don't know how to say this. Canada, wake the heck up. Just wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Absolutely. We're really seeing it now more than ever. Along the legal journey, we have discovered so many things. So one alarming thing within our quarantine laws, where there's a penalty in there, and they keep reminding us of it because we want the right to test these beautiful birds independently and show them they're healthy. We're being threatened 6 months in jail and a $200,000 fine if we take an independent test or a test and it leaves the farm. So how are we also supposed to test our ostriches for special rare genetics? Like it was very misleading. So is that exemption package. And so now we sit here faced with, we can't test our own animals. Somehow that became a crime, which is a human right. We're standing up for the rights of Canadians, saying this is bullying. This is stamping out got us here. Stamping out is not working. It's putting us at huge risk. Just what you said. We're losing our genetic diversity. We're losing our natural immunity. We are losing our herd immunity. And we are losing, if we lose all that, we will become solely reliant on processed meat and vaccinations because we will not have what has helped us survive for millions of years. And so we have, as long as there's some people, I think they take it, it's a really small piece of information, but it means a lot. As long as there's migratory birds in the world, we will never be avian influenza free. So I don't understand why we are trying to chase a status of avian influenza free as countries across the world, as long as we're going to let the migratory birds to continue to fly and do their thing, which we should. We are not fighting that we should eradicate all wild birds. However, eradicating all of our animals and our livestock and the generations of farmers that have dedicated their lives to nutritional food supply, that's not going to help us either. So we've said there has to be a bridge in the middle. There's wildlife, and then there is the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. Remembering that we are not for food consumption. We are a solely based, since COVID-19 happened, we became a research facility for antibodies. So these are all natural. You have antibodies, I have antibodies. I actually heard somebody on one of the TV, it was a news station, and the anchor says to the reporter, "So is there any scientific proof of this herd immunity?" I was like, did he just say that? Did he just actually say that? It's things like that you just know how far disconnected we are from realizing how do we survive? We survive with immunity.
Yeah, and until we had media, okay, we had sanity.
Yeah.
Now the majority of the population is programmed to be our terrorists. Okay. They terrorize themselves, they terrorize their families. And you know what? That's the problem. You won't have the majority on your side because they watch TV and they do no research. And I got to tell you something, It's not about being a freedom fighter. It's about being a freedom lover and loving to keep your freedom and
I
to
love
do what's
that.
natural. And
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, the majority of population in Canada needs to grow a backbone, or they won't even have a backbone. I mean, Canada is going down like a rocket, and the world looks at Canada as one of the worst places to live now in the world. Okay. So that's nothing to be proud of. And guess what? If it wasn't for people like you, I mean, you know what? It's people like you that actually are protecting the rights of people who don't even know they're giving them away.
Yes,
And yet,
absolutely.
okay. So everybody, it's not about the birds, and you better get down on your knees and thank God, please, because if it wasn't for Katie standing up to this, okay, because she's doing what's right, and we need more Canadian people to do it. So where are we going from here, Katie? Where are we
So
going with?
there's a couple really alarming facts that I think your audience needs to know. And that's the power of the Canadian Food Inspection Agency with no accountability. So they can come onto anybody's farm or property based off suspicion. They don't even need to use those controversial PCR tests. Based off suspicion, they're allowed to enter your property and kill
And they
all
can
the
make it
animals.
up. They can make it up and understand. I've already felt that they can
Yeah,
make up whatever they want.
yes.
Okay, and then say it's suspicious, and maybe meanwhile they didn't even get a phone call, they've got no evidence, but guess what? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. And so I think a lot of farmers are just starting to feel the wrath of that. Compensation has been too good for the poultry industry, where if the compensation wasn't so lucrative, they would be standing with us too, because it is exhausting. Could you imagine having to keep killing your animals that are getting without looking for strategy and new science and innovative research like we're offering here? And you have to keep just letting them in, slaughter and CO2 your animals, which we're paying that for that by our taxpayer dollars. Like this, the cost for the CO2 that we've been able to even had to use to kill all these, slaughter all these animals. It is very alarming. It is so alarming. Then they
What's
can,
so alarming is how, understand, I have the best relationship I can with money, but
yeah.
the reality is you can pay a lot of people to do things that aren't right.
Uh-huh. And I think where we're sitting with that is that so if you're a farmer, they slaughter your animals, you're allowed to repopulate. Okay, well, you tell me there's still wild birds flying around. So now you have young, not less immune animals that have naive immune systems that are going to contract something definitely faster. You have that ability now for it to
There,
mutate, change.
there's no science here. There's no
No.
science. And then you're also going to be getting new birds, and they don't have the immune system or the ability that your birds do. They are totally resistant. And
Yes.
understand something, you know, for just people get colds and flus, and it's not really natural, but you know what? It is an immune builder, and that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're discrediting that even exists here, that these animals, and they just keep resisting the testing of the animals to prove to the public health and safety that we're okay. They never came and did a soil sample. They've never done a water sample. On their visits, one of their visits, we have it on camera. They asked us, where do we store our COVID-19 antibodies? I mean, if that isn't a red flag, we said, wait, you're coming for our COVID-19 antibodies? How does that work? And they said, we are coming for anything and any byproduct of ostrich, and we will destroy it. So essentially just wiping us out of even that we even existed. And in where I was going with that about the farmers aren't, we're a lot of the generational farmers in that have been a backbone and continue to be across the world and dedicating their lives to nutritional food supply. They're getting tired. Who wants to keep slaughtering their animals and repopulating them, knowing that they're going to get reinfected again? So the farmers, and this looks much better on the government because it's not the government doing it, but they are. But the farmers are getting tired and they're not getting back into farming. They're stopping. So it's a really smooth way of getting rid of our farmers, saying, well, now we have a lack of food supply, but we have a solution. And we have processed meat with vaccinations, and we have the processed meat that's been grown with tumor cells for rapid growth, and it needs antibiotics to survive. And now we're all eating this and crickets, and so they're going after our farmers. And how I look at it too, you know, the truckers are heroes, but they were the heroes in the beginning. Then there was the convoy that went and led this beauty to back to Canada. You take politics out of it, you take anger, you take everything out of it. The convoy reinstated that, refilled us back of like, this is what Canada is. Then you had the frontline workers, and the frontline workers were heroes. Then very quickly, they were all villainized. You have to take the vaccinations or you can't keep your jobs. You have to do the, you know, then the pressure got put on them. Well, now this is where we're at with our agricultural industry on a global scale.
Yeah, everybody right now is that's awake is rising. Do you know Simone Gold? She was the main doctor that stood up in the United States against everyone. She started Gold Care.
Okay.
And she's coming on my show and bringing on 18 medical doctors to talk about the story and what happened. And we're doing that in August. And understand something. We're carrying all these one-day symposiums. And I'll put this out to you. If you can get enough farmers together and enough people that are in your industry, I would love to do a world symposium where we have like 18 of you speaking on different topics about this, about being sovereign, about being able to live in peace and be able to farm without knowing that you've got the federal government breathing down your neck. If you want to put something together like that, just know that I would love to do it.
Oh,
Okay?
that's wonderful. Yeah, you're such a great man. I appreciate it so much because I think the voices have to be heard. The only reason that we're here today is because of the people's voice matters. And we are rising up. And you're right. If we didn't have the COVID-19 experience, we would have been gone long ago, long gone. But because people had that experience and they see that we need to protect the farmers and not let them be villainized, not make the same mistakes. You know, I'm really proud of the states there. HHS just took away, they just canceled that 710 million Moderna contract.
Right.
Vaccination production. But Canada went and purchased 550,000 doses of H5N1 vaccinations, and they're sitting there waiting to be used. Now, if you start doing your math and you look at the commercial farmers and who's left in the agricultural industry, and you divide that and you times by a couple workers per farm, they're going to do it to us just like they did the healthcare workers. If you want to keep your animals, you have to get vaccinated. And this is speculation, but it's not hard to speculate from where we've come from. So, and I know that our farmers are probably some of the biggest ones that would say, absolutely not. I'm not putting that in myself. I grow my own food. I'm proud of my food. I'm proud of my animals. But this is where we need to change policy. And this is why it's so beautiful. It's become a global movement and international support, because it shows that there is no borders to this problem, that we have to create the change together. And this is happening all across the world. The Stamping Out policy that was brought into effect in 2001, 24 years ago, by some guy sitting behind the desk, signed some papers. This has to be changed because we are putting our food security, our freedom at risk. We are taking away our farmers' livelihoods. And then also what happens, you know, I had a meeting there with Lana Poppin, and I said, what happens now to our farmers? Are they going to become a burden on society? Now, this is what they've done for generations. And what's going to happen to them? How do they support themselves? And we're not working with our farmers, our agricultural industry or sector. We are not giving our farmers a place at the table to talk. They are just coming in with the iron fist, letting us know how it is in their big hazmat suits and the big production. And here we are. We actually have some really great information, scientific information. And that was egg yolk from all those ostriches that I said were 3/4 of our farm. We were able to test that because it's off site, and they all have H5N1 antibodies. So they're happy and healthy because they had herd immunity. They already had their immunity, so they didn't get affected by this. The ones that were on our farm 2020 after were the ones that this was a new exposure and they had to work through it. They had to let it run through. If you're a farmer and you're an expert in the industry, you're already disposing of these animals properly. You're already, because you don't want the buy or whatever sitting around.
Absolutely. And the reality is you have to allow, okay, it's like this. Okay, so we've got humans that, may have the symptoms. Well, we're not going to put them down, are we? Okay. And we're not going to put them down because we know that if we just leave it be or we support them nutritionally, then they're going to have immunity and they're going to be stronger for it. And believe it or not, this is what life is like on this planet. There will always be some form of infection that will test our immunity to keep on making us stronger. And most people don't get this, that the actual infection we get is not the problem. It's never getting it. It's testing your immunity to keep us stronger so that, we survive on this planet. People don't understand that. Okay. So it's like this. Why would you put the birds down? Let the birds run their course.
They offer so much more here behind me alive than they do dead. Because so they offer such strength and biodiversity and their genetic diversity. We're way more benefit alive. And
here's the deal. If I can say this, and I don't mean to be like this. I just can't help myself.
That's okay.
I can't help myself with this. But the only people that are actually coming after you are the ones that, they're doing it for the paycheck or they've never had any power in their life, but they know they're living a lie. They know they're living a lie. Okay. And that's the truth.
Yeah. It's hard not to agree. It's sad. You take almost the human element out of it and say, do you understand that you're jeopardizing your children's food, that your food, your animals, your rights? Like, do you understand by the penalty of we can't test or treat our animals without 6 months in jail and $200,000 fine? We've offered solutions to the Canadian Food Inspection Agency with the antibodies to collaborate with us before RFK stepped in and offered collaboration. We said we can come up with a solution for the migratory birds, fogging my highly populated migratory bird paths, putting some food in there so they have to go in, they get fogged, they breathe in the antibodies. But we are coming up with ideas. This is what science is. This is what we should be doing.
Right.
We said we can work with commercial poultry farms. We can use the antibodies there. Let's start producing antibodies. Let's help heal in a natural and safe way. And it's just been met with complete resistance.
And if I can break in and say this, I want the audience out there to know something. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed before COVID. This has been going on for centuries. Nothing has changed. This is how life evolves. This is how we get stronger.
Yes.
Okay. And understand nothing has changed. And all they've done is taken a paradigm that has been happening for thousands of years and then used it against us. That's all.
Don't kill the survivors, right, Dr. Wolfe? And that's what we said. If you're killing them and you haven't tested them yet, you're killing healthy animals. You're not killing the virus.
So the bottom line is they won't test them. And guess why? Does everybody get that? That should be the straw that broke the camel's back. They won't come and test them because they've made a decision that they're going to die for the betterment of the government that runs our government. There's an internal government that runs our government with an agenda. So understand this, everyone. Don't think that they're for the good of the people.
No, and when you go into this, you think they are. But you start to learn about the organization, and this very organization that our taxpayer dollars pay into. It's the very organization that's attacking our agricultural industry and putting us at the most risk. So it's very, very disappointing. It's alarming. Then you start to learn they take direction from the World Health Animals Association, which answers to the World Health Organization, and they all take leadership from then the United Nations. So they're all talking and advising each other of what they think is the best. And this is what we're adopting. But this was all about trading partner policies in the beginning. We fought trading partner policies. No, they all have to be killed because they jeopardize our trading partner policies. Then we have our largest trading partner step in, Secretary Kennedy, and say, I see that there's an advantage here. I see there's potential here. I want to collaborate. I'm offering an olive branch. Let's work with this farm and let's see what we can do for animal and human health. And that was met by Canadian Food responding to mainstream media saying, despite of what RFK said, the slaughter will happen and we will give no notice. There will be no notice when we're coming to do it. So you threaten the farmer, you don't know when they're coming, you won't test the animals, you won't prove health just to put public health and like public mind at ease. We've been here for 5 months. Today is 136 days. These ostriches are healthy behind me. Dancing, happy, still no deaths from the 3/4 of the population here. But yet we have lots, there's migratory birds that fly around. And, you start to look at, then you go down the rabbit hole of the gain of function labs in Ohio and Georgia, gain of function labs that are working with ducks and H5N1. These are all red pills. It's been a red pill 5 months for Katie, but you get into this position and you can't, once you start looking down these roads and can't connect the dots, you can't go back.
I'd like everyone that's listening to this show to share this show and understand something. Whether you're talking about a bully at school or an organization, when they have nothing to stand on, they use fear.
Yeah, the fear mongering. And the fear mongering is real because here we are. And the only thing that we're winning by education, we're educating people. We're bringing awareness to a topic that needs to be addressed now. The Universal Ostrich Farms in Edgewood, British Columbia is ground zero for standing up. These ostriches have become a catalyst and a Trojan horse in the war against pushing back to say, no, this isn't right. And all we're asking for is change. Work with the leading experts, which is the farmers. Work with the people who have the animals. Work with the farmers. Yeah.
This is way bigger than an ostrich, and I'm not taking anything away from the ostriches. I'm not, but this is way bigger. Okay. All right. And believe it or not, everyone, you need to support Katie. You need to support her mission. Okay. If you want to protect your children, if you want to protect yourself, if you want to protect your way of life in Canada, and some of you are going, oh, that's such crazy. You wouldn't mean protect Katie for an ostrich. I don't even like ostriches. Well, guess what? Have that kind of attitude. Get your head out of your butt, because guess what? This is how it is. You just keep chipping at the fabric, okay? The fabric of what's called humanism. You just keep chipping at it until there's nothing left. And then guess what? None of us have any value.
Yeah, you say it the best. I mean, we have something that makes big pharma scared because we're going to take away from their profits if we could help everybody naturally. We're promoting natural immunity and herd immunity, and that is not something that they like. If we
that
all
is a big mission statement, and that is their biggest threat right there. That's their threat right there. You said it in a nutshell, whether you're talking about the birds or you're talking about somebody's children.
And so I know that we're up against the big giants because we're taking away from what they have planned. So, and that's okay. We're just going to keep pushing because natural immunity is not a new thing. And that's what we're like, but we've become so disconnected from it. If you eat good food, you treat your body well, you exercise, you won't need your pills. You won't need, there's going to be something that you probably need something for. But I mean, you're not going to need the antidepressants. We're not going to need medical assisted dying for depression. These things that we're being offered. I mean, and these are all really big ticket items. We're seeing people, we're already killing our population off by now giving them a pill for just being depressed, and saying, oh, well, if you would like to end your life, this is an option.
Well, first of all, there is no depression. There's no such thing. It's a made up thing. if there's only anxiety, and anxiety causes the brain to shut down because it's so inflamed, just like any other computer. So
Yep.
all you need to do is go to Mexico to a beach for a week and then get rid of the belief systems of terrorism that are in your mind and playing the same story over again. And that's
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah.
But the reality is that all we need to know is this: Big Pharma, BlackRock, Vanguard, okay? Everything is about control, okay? The 15-minute city, okay? Blue light poisoning, 5G. I mean, guess what? Okay. What you're doing is hero's work, Katie. What if I wanted to get involved, Katie? What would I do? How would I contact you? And what is it that you need from people that are awake right now?
Yeah, you can contact us at saveourostriches.com. There's email and there's contact information there. You can follow me at Katie Pasitny on Facebook. My name. We're trying to do lives almost every day and give
How do you
everybody.
how do you spell your name?
Yeah, its first name is Katie. Last name is Pasitney. And you can also go to Universal Ostrich Farms, which we are. There's a lot of ways. Donations, if you feel like you can donate to the cause for the legal bills, because unfortunately, money is ammunition in this challenge to help fight back and push back. You can go to saveourostriches.com. There's 3 ways to donate on there. But we also say if you can't donate, pray and share, like you just said. If you could share this story out and get it out, contact your local media and say that you want this to be followed. It's happening on a global scale. We're getting calls from UK, New York, Texas, everywhere around the world from farmers that are saying that they're scared. What's going to happen to us? We see the overreach, we see the tyranny, we're learning the policy, which we've really done, and it doesn't look good. So please, follow us along the journey. I know, Dr. Wolfe, I appreciate you taking this hot topic on because it's now or never, and we're sitting at ground zero here.
You know, the craziest thing is that people are going to think I'm crazy, but this is all part of transhumanism.
Yes.
I know. Come on, ostriches. What are you, crazy? Yeah, absolutely. You're the crazy one, everybody. You don't think. This is all part of transhumanism, whether you want to believe it or not. Okay. The COVID thing, the transgender thing. Now we're confused. We don't know who we are. Okay. They belittle us to the point that, yes, we'll take the chip, we'll give up our spirit, and understand something. Thank God that, Katie, that you've got spirit. And I'm telling you, and I mean that in the best way, because guess what? It affects all of us.
Yes,
okay?
It does.
And understand something, everyone. Here's the only thing they have to play on. Human beings are dirty and they infect things. Birds, they are dirty and they infect things. We're all at risk. And that is their BS story. It's a dysfunctional belief system. And I challenge any scientist to come on to show me the science that those birds should be killed and come on my show. Come on my show. If you're so bold, you come on my show. And remember something, the federal government was supposed to work for us. We weren't supposed to be enslaved by them.
Right.
Katie, I would like to have you come on my show every 2 weeks to give us an update to everybody. And also, when you do a 1-a-day, I want you to send it to my WhatsApp, and I'll put it up on my platforms, all of them.
Thank you. That is so
the
big.
Same phone number that we talked about today, just send it to me and it'll go up instantly. Okay? All right?
Sounds
okay.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate all your listeners, and I appreciate everything that you're fighting for. You speak so honestly and so clearly, and I think more people need to follow you and listen. So I'm grateful for the time.
Well, what if we actually had unconditional love for ourselves and every brother and sister on this planet and every God-given species on this planet? Then guess what? The matrix would fall. That's right. And we wouldn't need anyone to govern us.
Right. And do you know where we're seeing that right now is actually here at Ground Zero. We have probably about 150 people here. We had a convoy come. We've had.
Can you walk over? Are they all together? Can you take your phone and walk over and show me?
Probably can over there now. I'll get Jim's help here. So we've been blessed with everybody coming here across Canada, and
Why
we
are they
are
coming? Why are they coming?
why? To support. They're all just like you and me. If we could live with unconditional love and fight for what we believe in. This all started with about our farm, but about 30 people who decided to stay in this field. So could you imagine what could happen if we did this with 3,000 people? We could move mountains and become a much healthier and beautiful country for sure. So we'll just walk over here. This is we have a booth right here, and it's a sign-in booth. We'll pan over here. So
I see it. Yes.
yeah, and we'll walk in here a little bit. I'll kind of come. Jim's doing such a good job. I have help. I actually
Thanks,
have
Jim.
help.
Thanks, Jim.
You're welcome, brother. Thank you.
And we've had a grade 6 class get involved and make us posters and ask us really hard questions. It was actually really sweet. So we'll pan over here to the field.
Please.
So as you can see, there's a stage being set up for the night.
Yeah.
We have a Gordon Lightfoot tribute band. We have people from we have Prince George all the way over. We had Quebec. We have actually Shadow Davis is coming here tonight.
And where do you live? Just in case I'm close enough to pedal to the metal and get there.
Edgewood, British Columbia. And
Which is where?
It's about an hour and 35 minutes east of Vernon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. 301 Langill Road. I'll message it to you. We're offering anybody who wants to come take pictures of the prehistoric animals that are flightless and offer no threat. Come and see us and support us.
So here we go. They're prehistoric animals and they're a threat. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we'll just pan over. There's lots of cars and a tent, and we have good food, a fire at night. We have amazing people. It's great. We have it all set up for trucks, tents, outhouses pumped out, water.
That's the stage that just arrived?
Yeah, the stage just arrived, and we're all just about healing each other. We actually have an amazing Native community here right now, from Indigenous, from all different tribes and different backgrounds. They're all at our river. There's probably about 40 people at our river, and they're offering ceremony in the mornings. Sweat lodge. There's a sweat lodge. They're doing good food, fires, healing, and lots of love. And that's what I think everybody's so shocked. They come here and they leave here better than they were. And so I think that's what is shocking everybody about. It's not a protest. This is a stand for the change and standing up for our human rights.
Yeah, humans coming together for the love of life.
Yeah.
And someday there'll be a big billboard probably on the highway coming to your place saying, "Ostriches save the world."
Yeah, I like it. I'll get that tattoo. If that's a tattoo worth having.
Because you know what? They are the domino effect of everything.
Yes. Yes, this is ground zero, and they are the Trojan horse leading the war, or the Trojan ostrich leading the war, and we're gonna win this. I really have faith that with the global attention, international support, and people like you that keep picking this up, and people don't want this to happen. And whether or not it was ostriches, we just happened to be a really unique animal that allowed that to happen. So you're right. As I grew up, my mom always, she was like, these ostriches are going to change the world someday. And here we are. So it's a pretty beautiful story.
Yeah. It's like this. We all get tested every day. And, like I state, this is a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure down here. If you understand that it's all about the love, it's all about the care. And, things are never going to change, but we need to change.
Yes.
Okay. We need to change personally, and it is called unconditional love. It's not love. It's called unconditional love for everything. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's the craziest thing. I don't want to get into it too deep, but 100 billion people can live on the planet. I can prove it. 100 billion people could live here and it wouldn't even be crowded. It'd be a speck. Everything that they're doing right now is a lie. And we don't need the majority. All we need is the Braveheart heroes out there to find their roar and to join Katie's cause. Okay? That's what we need. Katie, how do I get in touch with you again?
You can go to saveourostriches.com and there's an email link on there. There's donations. There's ways of watching all the other videos we've done. You can call me as well. You can put it up if you want. Honestly, I don't mind the calls.
Okay.
250-870-8246. I really do. I don't get to them all, but I really like to try to get to everybody. And then you can go to our Facebook, Katie Pasitny, my name, and saveourostriches.com. It's a really nice and easy way to link up with us. And you can come visit us.
Beautiful. And when you do your one-a-days, always mention where they can go to support you so that when I post it on all my platforms, okay? All right.
Sounds
and
good.
Just so you know, we get per week, we get 2,200,000 views. Okay.
Incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
So just do it. Send it just to my WhatsApp. I'll put it up.
It'll be done every day.
And we'll get together in 2 weeks and we'll get an update from you.
Sounds good.
How's that sound?
Sounds beautiful. Yes. Thank you for joining us here today with what we're fighting for. And thank you for, like I said already just earlier, but thank you for being like you and promoting the truth.
Well, thank you. And just know this, Katie, have you seen the video that we put together for you for your ostriches?
No, I didn't yet.
Well, we're going to finish the show now, and everyone just stay around and look at the video that we put together yesterday. And just know this. Love you, Katie. Love your mission. And believe it or not, it's people like you that give me the power to keep moving forward. And God bless you.
That means a lot. Thank you, Dr. Wolfe. God bless you too. Thank you for today.
You're welcome. Have the best day of your life and have the best party tonight, okay? I wish I was there.
Okay. Well, we'll see you soon, hopefully, one day.
All right, love. Okay. Bye, love.
Bye.
Rafa, play the video.
How will everybody say about the bird? Bird, bird, bird. The bird's a winner. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Bird is a winner.